Welcome to the VST channel here, guys. Tech. I promised you epic battles between the Pixel 6 and the S21 Ultra. Alright, you know this beast here is powered by the first in many times gold chip, like the Tensor chip built together of course with Samsung, but that's really unique about the Pixel 6. Here we have the S21 so benchmark video, but I have so much more. Animation comparisons, right? You know, here we have the latest Android 12 and it does really run stock, right? Pixel 6 latest Android. I received some feedback that it's good to just up my Pixel 3 XL. I've listened, here it is. Animation comparison. But what comes to your mind when I say Pixel? It's indeed one thing only. And this is the camera, guys. So also camera comparison, One UI 4 versus Android 12 comparison, all kind of videos, guys. And the first to start is of course the benchmark, right? So I have here the two phones. I'm gonna restart the phone, so we just start with even resources, restarting those phones, trying to set the right scene and the perfect conditions. Now bear in mind, guys, when it comes down to benchmarks, I am one of those guys to say that although it's nice to see what phones can do, so that we can have something like a baseline and try to compare them one to each other, there is also something else besides all of these benchmark things, which was called, please help me, oh yeah, it's called the real life. Right, so that's kind of like my opinion. Phones are freshly restarted, but please always remember that the coin has two sides, right? So although benchmarks are important, there is so much more than this, and I just call it real life. And this means it's you taking your phone in a hand, using it with some real life scenarios, like, you know, going outside, taking some pictures, taking some videos, staying home, you know, inside your bed, playing games, things like that. And benchmarks don't always account most of those things, right? They just perform a series of tests. A lot of times that's a synthetic test to test this or that. It is what it is. I'm gonna cut off the talking right now. I'm gonna close all the applications here, guys, okay, clear it all. But before we start, guys, I wanna see the operating temperature of both phones. So I'm just starting here the CPU monitor. All right, so we have here 32 degree, we have 31, 32, and 36, 37. My notice so far from just using several days the Pixel 6 with the Tensor chipset, and I actually brought a backup from the S21 Ultra to my Pixel, is that the Tensor chip runs a bit cooler, okay? I've been using the Pixel 6 now as my main phone, and you can just see that the Samsung S21 Ultra is running hotter a bit, okay, not with much, but still. And although, guys, those phones are really quite powerful, they have a different architecture. We have a different setup, so they all have 8 cores, but the configuration is done in another way. Enough talking, guys. I'm gonna run right now benchmark on both of those phones in real time. I'm not gonna speed it up, guys, so we can just see how it's going to develop with time. So in 3, 2, 1, let's do it. Oops. Okay, good. Guys, I was a bit quicker here on the S21 Ultra, hopefully not so much. Alright, and of course, your humble host VST is going to provide some commentary. Running image compression, 6% here, 6% here. You would expect that those phones will really come very close. They use the same type of manufacturing, the 5nm process and etc. But like I told you guys, there are differences in the ways the cores are set up. So we have a different set of cores here and a different set of cores here. But I'm not gonna give you like the tech talk. We're just interested into the end result. So right now 30%, 34 on the Pixel, 37 on both phones. I just see with my own eyes they are really coming one-to-one, very close. Honestly, I have a feeling from what I see that the results should be quite similar, unless of course one of both phones don't perform like any miracle stunt and we end up somehow doing it quicker than the other phone. But okay, let's see. Halfway through the test, both phones now running text compression at 51%. Okay, oh, it's the first time here where the S21 Ultra took a bit of a lead, 55%, now the Pixel is a bit behind with 2%, now 55%, again I think they're even. It's going to be a very tight competition. If you have watched my unboxing video, guys, you probably know that I'm joking that the Pixel 6 and 6 Pro are Samsung phones, right, running just stock Android. That's not true, right? The Tensor chip is designed, of course, with Samsung, right? Samsung are producing it and etc. But the whole idea, all the AI, all the machine learning, all the ISPs there, and the security chips are really coming from the brains of Google, right? So it is kind of like why it feels a truly Google phone, because all the time right now we had all the Pixels using the Snapdragon this or that, but right now Google are trying to unleash all the power of their phone with their ideas about the artificial intelligence, about machine learning and stuff like that. And by the way, right, as I'm just giving you guys this nice talk, 90% here, so definitely S21 Ultra is heading to get the first prize here on Geekbench. I told you 2 minutes ago, my idea with the Pixel 6 was that it was running a bit cooler compared to the S21 Ultra when I had to restore like 289 application. Oh, and the S21 Ultra pulled the trick here, came first with about almost like 1000 point single core score and 3302 multi-core score. Okay, now let's see, Pixel 6 is about to come, let's see how much. 1039 on the single core score, right, which actually killed the S21 Ultra, and the whooping 2747 on the multi-core score. Now, guys, yeah, you might know I'm not doing this for the first time. Usually my Samsung gets about this. If we go here to the single core score, you can just see that the average of the S21 Ultras are getting 924. Now I have put my S21 Ultra in the fridge and I was getting above 1100, but around 1000 is usually what you get. So your device, which is the Pixel 6, get 1039, and it kind of beats, I think, the average of the S21 Ultras inside the single core, where they're getting like 294. So 1039 for the Pixel 6, I think, is a win. And you can just see how it ranks with the S21s and the Pocos and etc. Let me just scroll down further, guys, and then you can just see here we have all these phones, right, comparing with the Pixel 6 and with the Ultra. If we go to the multi-core score, okay, here definitely Samsung S21 Ultra took the win, right? 3202 versus 2747. Now the average for the S21 Ultra is around 3000, so the Pixel is somewhere about close, and you can just see also how the other phones are comparing towards this result. But okay, guys, let's go back and let's just see, right? We have the same operating system. Here we have One UI 4, Beta 4, Android 12. Here it's Android 12, like stable version. First thing that comes to our mind is the, see here, guys, the governor that is used on the Pixel 6 is called Schedule Pixel, as to the governor used on the S21 Ultra is called Energy Step. And these CPU governors, guys, just think about like a person or people standing up at a hotel door and just trying to release people in and out. So like the guy standing in front of the door will try to release more people or try to hold some people up. So like practically those are what these governors are doing. They're trying to really manage the CPU on a SoC in the most efficient way. Sometimes, of course, you can go for more power, right? So let's say you're going to waste a bit more energy. Sometimes you're going to go a bit more energy efficient, and then you're not going to run with the full power. So the governor here definitely is different. Here we see scheduler, here we see the energy. Okay, now name, right now Geekbench just is saying that's an ARM v8 processor, as to what we see here, guys. Okay, it's the Exynos 2100. I told you, it's one processor, so that the topology is the same, one processor, 8 cores. But see, guys, here this is the difference. In Exynos 2100 we have 4 big cores running at 2.1 GHz. In the Pixel we have 4 cores running at only 1.8 GHz. Then we have 2 cores that are big cores running on 2.5, and on the cluster 2 in Exynos we have 3 cores running on 2.8, and then last but not least on the Pixel we have another 2 cores bringing up to 8 cores, 2 cores running at 2.8, and here in the Exynos 2100 we have 1 core running at 2.9 GHz. So again, they're just using a different setup. Memory here, guys, here we have 8 GB of RAM, here we have 12 GB of RAM, and now let's just deep dive into the single core performance. performance, like, okay, 1039 versus 998. Crypto score of the Pixel 6 is 1716, here we have 1602, integer score 934, 898, floating point score, how many calculations in a second, whatever, 1152, 1115. And then here, guys, you can just see all the individual tests. We have the XTS, okay, and you can just see also the throughput, right? Like, for example, almost like 3 gigabytes in a second. So the Pixel is doing the IAS XTS with almost 3 gigs per second. The S21 Ultra almost 2.73, okay, and then you can see the text compression, and then again also every time with the throughput. Image compression, for example, on the Pixel 6 using the Tensor, 444 megapixels in a second, here 441. So definitely Pixel 6 or the Tensor chipset doing very nice in terms of single core, okay, and as I'm scrolling down you can just see HDR. Okay, 23 megapixels per second. Here HDR 24. Okay, multi-core performance is though where it gets a bit more interesting. Here definitely because of the individual core setup from the Exynos, I think the Exynos 2100 is outperforming a bit of the Pixel, and you can just see this here. The multi-core score is 3300, here is 2700. The crypto score here is 5330, and here's almost 6000. The integer score here is 2400, here we have 3000 and almost 100. And the floating point score 2900, here we have 3300. So definitely multi-core performance is better on the S21 Ultra, at least in this test, guys. Okay, so I'm just gonna go back, and you can just see, guys, I'm gonna go back on the first screen. Here we have the cluster 1, the cluster 2, and the cluster 3, and you can just see here now the individual core setup. So 8 cores here, 8 cores here, but the configuration is a different one. And guys, this is gonna be like the first of many series with benchmarks, so this video is specifically dedicated to Geekbench. If you like this video, let me know, please like the video, okay, leave a comment down below. If I see that this video behaves well, I'm gonna push for more like Ender 2 videos and also 3D Mark and many other tests, guys, but I will not really just go and fast forward those tests. I want to give you guys the full commentary so that you know what is my opinion, and I really hope that my opinion for at least some of you is kind of like adding value to just only these numbers. With that said, guys, yeah, turning the phone so you can just see one more time the beautiful back of the Pixel and the probably even more beautiful back of the S21 Ultra. Thank you for watching this video, guys, and yeah, just come soon for more. VST over and